so glad you called in. I'm going to read you what was wrote nearly 2,000 years ago. A man called Nicodemus. He wrote this, and not many people have heard it. But it's worthy. I don't agree with all of it, but what I'm going to read is a part of the history that he wrote. He was an eyewitness. And because of his position, he was able to see what others didn't see. Yeah? So listen. In the 15th year of governance of Tiberius Caesar, Emperor of Rome, and of Herod, King of Galilee, in the 19th year of his rule. Now, so he's giving you some dates here. 19th year of his rule, on the 8th of the calends of April, which is the 25th of March. That's what I said. There is one calendar of the Hebrews and another calendar. So that's the reason why it seems a bit confusing. In the 4th year of the 202nd Olympiad, Joseph, who was Caiaphas, being high priest of the Jews. This guy, Caiaphas, high priest of the Jews. These be the things which after the cross and the passion of the Lord Nicodemus recorded and delivered it unto the high priest and the rest of the Jews. And the same Nicodemus set them forth in Hebrew letters. Hebrew letters. Right. Let's start. You ready? For the chief priests and the scribes assembled the council, even Annas and Caiaphas, and some, and Dothium, and Gamaliel, Judas, Levi, Naphtali, Alexander, and Jairus, and the rest of the Jews, and came unto Pilate accusing Jesus of many deeds. He was the high-ranking man from the temple. Right? And what did they have to say? We know this man, that he is the son of Joseph, the carpenter, begotten of Mary. And he saith that he is the Son of God, and a king. Moreover, he does pollute the Sabbath, and he would destroy the law of our fathers. This group of men bring this accusation against him. Pilate said. And what things are they that he does? And would destroy the law? the Jews say, we have a law that we should not heal any man on the Sabbath. But this man, of his evil deeds, hath healed the lame and bent, the withered, the blind, the paralytic, the dumb, and them that were possessed on the Sabbath day. Pilate said to them, by what evil deeds? They said unto him, he is a sorcerer, and by Beelzebub, the prince of the devils, he casts out devils, and they are all subject to him. Pilate said unto them, this is not a case out devils by an unclean spirit, but by the god of Asclepius. The Jews say unto Pilate, we beseech ye, Majesty, that he appear before the judgment seat and be heard. And Pilate called them into him and said, tell me, how can I, that I am a governor, examine a king? They say unto him, we say not that he is a king, but he saith of himself. And Pilate called the messenger and said unto him, let Jesus be brought hither, but with gentleness. And the messenger went forth. When he perceived Jesus, he worshipped him, and took the kerchief that was on his hand, and spread it on the earth, and said unto him, Lord, walk herein and enter in, for the governor calleth thee. And when the Jews saw that the messenger had done, they cried out against Pilate, saying, wherefore didst thou not summon him by a herd to enter in, but by a messenger? For the messenger, when he saw him, worshipped him, and spread out his kerchief upon the ground, and hath made him walk upon it like a king. Kerchief. You wouldn't want kerchief. It's a square piece of cloth. Then Pilate called for the messenger and said to him, wherefore hast thou done this? And hast spread thy kerchief upon the ground, and made Jesus to walk upon it? The messenger said unto him, Lord, Governor, when thou sent me to Jerusalem unto Alexander, I saw Jesus sitting on an ass, and the children of the Hebrews held branches in their hands and cried out. And others spread their garments beneath him, saying, save now, thou that art the highest. Blessed is he that comes in the name of the Lord. The Jews cried out and said unto the messenger, the children of the Hebrews cry out in Hebrew. How then hast thou it in Greek? The messenger said unto them, I did ask one of the Jews, and said, What is it that they cry out in Hebrew? And he interpreted it to me. Pilate said unto them, And how crieth they in Hebrew? The Jews said unto him, Hosanna, Membro, Barak Hamam, Adonai. Barak Hamam, Adonai. Pilate said unto them, And Hosanna and the rest, how is it interpreted? The Jews say unto him, Save now that thou art the highest. Blessed is he that cometh in the name of the Lord. Pilate said unto them, If you yourselves bear witness of the words which we were said unto the children, where hath the messenger sent? And they held their peace. Now when Jesus entered in, and the ensigns, and holding the standards and the images, and the standards bowed and did reverence to Jesus. And when the Jews saw carriage of standards, how they bowed themselves and did reverence to Jesus, they cried out above measure against ensigns. But Pilate said unto the Jews, Marvel ye not that the image bowed themselves and did reverence to Jesus. The Jews say unto Pilate, We saw how the ensigns made them to bow and did reverence to him. And the governor called for the ensigns and said unto them, Where do ye go? So, wherefore did you so? They say unto Pilate, We are Greeks and servants of the temples, and how could we do the reverence? For indeed, whilst we held the image, they bowed themselves and did reverence to him. Then say Pilate unto the rulers of the synagogues and the elders of the people, Choose you out able and strong men, and let them hold the standards, and let us see if they bow of themselves. And the elders of the Jews took 12 men, strong and able, and made them to hold the standards by sixes. And they were set before the judgment seat of the governor. And Pilate said unto their messengers, Take him out of the judgment hall, the praetorium, and bring him in again, after what manner thou wilt. And Jesus went out of the judgment hall, the praetorium. That was the palace. And bring him in again, after what manner thou wilt. Bring him again, in manner what thou wilt. And Pilate called unto him them that before held the image, and said unto them, I have sworn by the safety of Caesar that if the standards bow, not when Jesus entered in, I will cut off their heads and the governor commanded Jesus to enter in the second time. And the messengers did after the former. And besought Jesus much that he would walk upon his kerchief. That's where we get the handkerchief. Kerchief. So we've got the picture. Do you see what's happening? This is the second time. Coming in. So there's things happened in between all that. And the messengers did after the former. And besought Jesus much that he would walk upon his kerchief. And he walked upon it and entered in. And when he entered in, the standards bowed themselves again and did reverence to Jesus. Chapter 2. Now when Pilate saw it, he was afraid and sought to rise up from the judgment seat. The judgment seat, it's still there, on the western wall of Jerusalem. They've uncovered it. It's actually there. And while he yet thought to rise up, his wife sent unto him, saying, have nothing to do with this man, with this just man, for I have suffered many things because of him by night. And Pilate called unto him all the Jews, and said unto them, ye know that my wife feareth God, and feareth rather than customs of the Jews with you. They said unto him, yea, we know. Pilate said unto them, lo, my wife hath sent unto me, saying, have nothing to do with this just man. For I have suffered many things because of him by night. But the Jews answered and said unto Pilate, said we not unto thee that he is a sorcerer? Behold, he has sent a vision of a dream unto your wife. And Pilate called Jesus unto him and said, what is it that these witnesses against thee? Speakest thou nothing? But Jesus said, if they had not had power, they would not have spoken nothing. For every man hath power over his own mouth to speak good or to speak evil. They shall see to it. The elders of the Jews answered and said unto Jesus, what shall we say? Firstly, that thou wast born of fornication. Secondly, that thy birth in Bethlehem was the cause of slaying of children. Thirdly, that thy father Joseph and thy mother Mary fled into Egypt because they had no confidence before the people. Then said certain of them that stood by, devout men of the Jews. We say that he came of fornication, but we know that Joseph was begotten unto Mary. He's got somebody defending him. Witnesses. And thy mother Mary fled into Egypt because they had no confidence before the people. Then said certain men of them that stood by, devout men of the Jews. Let's say it again. We say not that he came from fornication, but we know that Joseph was begotten unto Mary. And he was not born of fornication. Pilate said unto the Jews, which said that he came of fornication, this you sayings is not true, for they were espousal. As these also say, which are of your nation. Annas and Caiaphas say unto Pilate, the whole multitude of us cry out that he was born of fornication. We are not believed, but these are proselytes and disciples of his. And Pilate called Annas and Caiaphas unto him, and said unto them, what be proselytes? They said unto him, they were born children of Greeks, and now they are become Jews. Then said they which said, I, that he was not born of fornication, even Lazarus. And now are they become Jews? Then said they which said, I, that he was not born of fornication, even Lazarus. Asteris, Antonius, Jacob, Amnes, Zenos, Samuel, Isaac, Venus, Cyprus, Agrippa, and Judas. We were not born proselytes, but we are children of Jews, and we speak the truth. For verily, we were present at the espousal of Joseph and Mary. Born of fornication is the accusation. Joseph was betrothed to Mary, but they both didn't go through the process of the marriage the way the Jews expected. Joseph had relations with Mary before the ceremony. Shock, horror. What they're saying is this: he was betrothed, as good as married, engaged, you could say. He was going to marry her. But Gabriel came and said, it is time. Everything will be all right. She's a virgin. relation, and a child will be born. She'd never been with anyone else. But they condemned him. And because of that, they had to leave their place of residence. Let's carry on. Shock and horror. All you believe in the virgin birth. Joseph and Mary, born in the line of David, legally binding the child could become king. Joseph was his father, earthly father. Every birth is a miracle. A seed in the womb, fertilized by a royal priesthood man. Joseph. Was he Joseph of Arimathea? And Pilate called unto him those 12 men, which said that he was not born of fornication, and said unto them, But you by the safety of Caesar, are these things true which ye have said, that he was not born of fornication? They said unto Pilate, We have a law that we swear not, because it is sin. But let them swear by thee. My eyes is focus my eyes. But let them swear by the safety of Caesar that it is not as we have said, and we will be guilty of death. They're putting their necks on the line. This is true. He's not born of fornication. They said unto Pilate, We have a law that we swear not, because it is sin. But let them swear by thee. Safety of Caesar. If that is not what we have said. And we be guilty of death. Pilate said unto Annas and Caiaphas, Answer ye not of these things? Annas and Sapphira said unto Pilate, These 12 men are believed, which say that they are not born of fornication. But the whole multitude of us cry out that he is born of fornication, and is a sorcerer, and said that he